As the sun dipped below the horizon, a shadow stretched across the earth, darkening cities and illuminating the sky with an eerie glow. People stared up in terror as an immense alien armada descended, its ships glinting ominously against the backdrop of a fading day. Panic erupted in streets worldwide. Sirens blared, and the sound of chaos echoed as news broadcasts scrambled to provide updates. In a high-security chamber aboard the Galactic Coalition's flagship, representatives from various alien races convened, their forms as diverse as their histories. The room was filled with tension, voices raised in alarm as they assessed the potential threat of humanity. A holographic display projected images of Earth's cities, bustling with life just hours before. "The humans are unpredictable," argued Krelth, a delegate from the Zoreth Alliance, his tentacles twitching nervously. "We must act before they do. We cannot allow their reckless nature to endanger us all." Another alien, a stoic Emeri with shimmering scales, nodded in agreement. "We've witnessed their brutality against the Exarach. We must strike first or risk annihilation." As the council continued to spiral into fear-driven discussions, Lena, a human diplomat, stood at the edge of the room. Her heart raced, but her resolve hardened. The stories of humanity's past, the wars, the triumphs, the capacity for empathy, swirled in her mind. She stepped forward, raising her hand to silence the room. "Enough," she exclaimed, her voice cutting through the din. "We can't let fear dictate our actions. Yes, humanity has a tumultuous history, but we have also shown our capacity for growth and change. We can be allies, not enemies." A ripple of disbelief ran through the delegates. Some exchanged skeptical glances, while others appeared intrigued. "You think we can trust your kind?" hissed a disgruntled Excelfar, known for their ruthless conquests. "You're all just a ticking time bomb waiting to explode." Lena's resolve didn't waver. "Trust must be earned, but we have an opportunity here to showcase our potential. Instead of cowering behind walls, we should reach out. Allow us to demonstrate what humanity can offer. We want peace, not war." The room fell silent, tension palpable as the council members exchanged glances. Many were still gripped by fear, their instincts pushing them towards aggression. Yet, Lena saw a flicker of curiosity in the eyes of a younger delegate, a member of a lesser-known race who had not yet hardened into cynicism. "Perhaps we should consider her proposal," the delegate suggested hesitantly. "What do we have to lose by hearing them out?" Krelth scoffed but was quickly silenced by the stern gaze of the Emeri representative. "This is not just about fear, it's about strategy. If we underestimate humanity again, we could be signing our own death warrants." While debates raged on, Lena felt a mix of hope and desperation. Back on Earth, as news of the alien armada spread, citizens gathered in homes and public squares, their faces pale with fear. But Lena knew humanity's true spirit. She believed in their resilience. As the council finally agreed to consider Lena's plea, an emergency alert blared through the chamber. The lights flickered, and tension surged as a message crackled through the intercom. "Incoming transmission from Earth. Urgent." The room hushed as Lena's heart raced. Was it humanity's chance to make a stand? Or would it be the final warning before chaos descended? The moment felt like a precipice, teetering between destruction and an unprecedented opportunity. Lena took a deep breath, ready to face whatever came next, determined to show the galaxy that humanity would not shrink away in fear. The emergency alert echoed in the Galactic Council chamber, momentarily halting the rising tension. Lena stood at the center of the room, heart pounding as she awaited the incoming transmission. The holographic screen flickered to life, revealing a scene of chaos from Earth. People gathered in the streets, faces turned skyward in fear, while emergency broadcasts blared warnings. As the image stabilized, Lena's focus shifted to the council. Some delegates looked on with a mix of fascination and horror, while others recoiled, their fears magnified by the urgency of the message. The council president, a towering figure with elongated features and luminescent skin, gestured for silence. "Let us hear what the humans have to say," he commanded, his voice carrying authority. The screen shifted, now displaying Lena's image alongside a panel of human leaders. They looked determined, though anxiety flickered in their eyes. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," Lena began, her voice steady despite the turmoil surrounding her. "We understand your fear, but we implore you to see the bigger picture. Humanity is not merely a threat. We are potential allies." Back in the council chamber, skepticism remained palpable. Krelth, still bristling with tension, leaned forward. "How can we trust a species that has been a source of chaos in the past? You claim you seek peace, yet your history is riddled with violence." Lena inhaled deeply, determined to present humanity's case. "We have learned from our past. We are not the same species that fought the Exarach. We have the capacity for growth, for collaboration. We are willing to share our knowledge, technology, and creativity with you." The council remained silent, weighing her words. An Emari delegate spoke up, her voice a mix of curiosity and caution. "What assurance can you give that humanity will not turn on us? What proof do you have of your intentions?" Just as Lena was about to respond, a commotion erupted from the back of the chamber. A lesser-known delegate, a small, insect-like being from the planet Verith, stood up, his wings buzzing nervously. "We should listen to her. Every species has its dark chapters. Why not give them a chance to write a new story?" His words struck a chord with a few members, and a flicker of hope ignited in Lena's chest. "Exactly," she pressed, seizing the moment. "Let us demonstrate our capabilities through action, instead of fearing what we might do. Let's explore what we can achieve together." Yet, Krelth's anger was not easily swayed. "And if you betray us, we cannot afford to gamble our lives on your promises." Before Lena could reply, the holographic feed from Earth began to distort, static crackling through the connection. The council members leaned in, concern replacing their skepticism. "What's happening?" the president demanded, his brow furrowing. As the transmission stabilized again, Lena's heart sank. The scene behind her showed a large gathering of civilians being addressed by world leaders. "We are preparing for the worst," one leader proclaimed. "We must be ready to defend our planet at all costs. They may come to destroy us." The council watched in horror, realizing that panic was spreading through humanity. The fear they had witnessed mirrored their own, but it sparked a new realization among some members. If humanity was preparing for conflict, it could lead to a catastrophic cycle of violence. "This is the moment to decide," Lena said, urgency creeping into her tone. "If we don't act now, we risk driving humanity into a corner. We must reach out before fear turns into aggression on both sides." The room buzzed with whispers as council members exchanged glances. Lena felt the weight of their decision pressing down like a storm cloud. She knew that the fate of both humanity and the galaxy hung in the balance, and time was running out. Finally, the president raised his hand for silence. "We must convene a vote. Do we risk engaging with humanity, or do we prepare for war?" The chamber fell silent, all eyes fixed on Lena, who stood resolute, a glimmer of hope shining through the uncertainty. The outcome of this vote would determine not just the future of Earth, but the entire galaxy. Back on Earth, the mood was a stark contrast to the tense deliberations of the Galactic Council. As the news of the alien armada spread, panic rippled through cities, but among the fear and chaos, pockets of determination began to emerge. In community centers, basements, and makeshift shelters, groups of people gathered, united by a shared resolve to confront the unknown. In a dimly lit underground bunker in New York City, Lena convened with a diverse team of scientists, engineers, artists, and leaders. The air buzzed with nervous energy as they brainstormed ways to showcase humanity's strengths. The room was filled with whiteboards, sketches, and frantic discussions, each person contributing their unique perspective. "We need to create something that represents us," Lena urged, pacing in front of the group. "A demonstration of our resilience, creativity, and unity. something that will resonate with the council and show them we're not just a threat. A young engineer named Aisha piped up, her eyes shining with excitement. What if we use technology to create an immersive experience? We could combine holography and interactive displays to showcase our achievements in science, art, and culture. Lena nodded, feeling the spark of inspiration ignite in the room. Yes, we can demonstrate how we've evolved and what we're capable of when we work together. Let's highlight our greatest moments, our advancements in medicine, our environmental efforts, and our artistic expressions. As the brainstorming continued, an artist named Marcus suggested a powerful visual. We could create a piece that symbolizes unity, like a massive mural that represents humanity's diverse cultures and achievements. We can even invite communities from around the world to contribute their stories. The idea ignited a flurry of enthusiasm. Each member of the team began to work on their specific tasks, a sense of purpose flooding the room. They would create a stunning presentation that would not only convey their message, but also galvanize humanity's spirit. They began sketching ideas, designing prototypes, and collaborating across time zones, embodying the essence of what it meant to be human. Meanwhile, Lena stayed focused on the urgency of their situation. As the countdown to the council's decision loomed, she felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. Each minute felt like a lifetime as she pushed her team to work efficiently, their resolve strengthening with every passing hour. Days passed in a blur of creativity and collaboration. As they approached the deadline, Lena organized a final assembly of volunteers to help complete the immersive presentation. The air was electric with excitement as people from all walks of life came together, sharing their stories, artwork, and technological innovations. Finally, the day arrived. The team gathered in a large auditorium, where a massive holographic screen awaited them. Lena took a moment to survey the diverse group of people who would come together, their faces reflecting determination and hope. She knew that they were not just preparing to present to the Galactic Council. They were standing as a testament to humanity's resilience. As the lights dimmed, Lena stepped forward, heart racing. Today, we stand together not just as individuals, but as a united front. This is our chance to show the galaxy who we truly are. We are more than our past. We are creators, dreamers, and fighters for a better future. With that, the presentation began. Vibrant visuals filled the screen, showcasing humanity's history of triumph over adversity, the beauty of diverse cultures, and the ingenuity that defined their species. The audience was mesmerized, gasping at the stories of perseverance, creativity, and unity. Lena watched as the crowd responded, their awe transforming into cheers and applause. In that moment, she realized that they were not just fighting for survival. They were redefining what it meant to be human. They were proving that in the face of fear, they would rise together, ready to face whatever the universe threw at them. As the last echoes of applause faded from the auditorium, Lena stood before the crowd, a swell of pride filling her chest. The presentation had been a resounding success, igniting hope and camaraderie among those who had gathered. But the true test was yet to come. She needed to reach out to the Galactic Council once more and convey humanity's resolve. The next day, she gathered her team in the bunker, a sense of urgency in the air. "We have to build on this momentum," she said, her voice steady but passionate. "We need to send a follow-up message to the Council that emphasizes our desire for peace and collaboration." Aisha, still buzzing with energy from the presentation, chimed in. "What if we send them a recorded version of our showcase? We can include the stories from everyday people, how they feel about the impending invasion, and what they hope to achieve through collaboration." "That's a great idea," Lena agreed. "We need them to see our humanity, our vulnerabilities, and our aspirations. They need to understand that we're not just fighting for our survival, we're fighting for a chance to contribute positively to the galaxy." As the team set to work, they divided tasks, filming heartfelt testimonials, compiling clips from the presentation, and editing it all into a cohesive message. Each person poured their heart into the project, knowing that this communication could change the course of their future. Meanwhile, back in the Galactic Council chamber, discussions were heating up. The delegates, still reeling from Lena's presentation, debated fiercely. Krelf stood, his tentacles flaring with agitation. We cannot allow fear to govern us, but we must also be realistic. We have no guarantee that humanity won't turn against us if we lower our defenses. But what if we are misjudging them? The young Verith delegate countered. Lena showed us their creativity and resilience. They are capable of more than we understand. We must take the chance to reach out. In the midst of the discord, the president of the council raised his hand for silence. Perhaps it's time we responded to their message. We should invite them to send us their showcase and deliver it in person. Let us see for ourselves what they have to offer. Krelf hesitated, his skepticism still palpable. And what if this is a trap? We risk our lives and our fleets. Isn't the greater risk in doing nothing? The Ameri delegate replied. If we do not engage with them now, we may push them into a corner where they feel they have no choice but to fight. This could be an opportunity for a lasting alliance. After a tense deliberation, the council reached a consensus. They would allow Lena and a select group of humans to come aboard the flagship for a direct discussion. The decision felt like a delicate thread, balancing on the brink of hope and fear. Back on Earth, the moment Lena had been waiting for finally arrived. The team gathered in the bunker, eyes glued to the screen as the intergalactic transmission flickered to life. The president's image appeared, framed by the council chamber's imposing design. Lena, we have received your previous messages, he began, his tone measured. After careful deliberation, we have decided to invite you and your team to present your case in person aboard our flagship. We seek to understand your species better. Lena's heart raced with excitement. This was the moment they had worked for. Thank you, she replied, her voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions inside her. We will not let you down. As the transmission ended, her team erupted in cheers, relief and joy flooding the room. They had earned a chance to show the galaxy that humanity was not a species to be feared, but one to be embraced. Prepare for departure, Lena commanded, her spirit soaring. We have a chance to change our fate, and we must seize it. With determination etched on their faces, they set to work, ready to present not just humanity's case, but a vision of a united future. It was time to step into the unknown and face the council, to transform fear into understanding. Together, they would prove that humanity's spirit could shine brighter than the stars themselves. As the shuttle glided through the expanse of space toward the Galactic Coalition's flagship, Lena sat in the passenger bay, her heart racing. Beside her, members of her team fidgeted nervously, whispering strategies and affirmations, but Lena felt a calm resolve settling over her. This was not just a presentation, it was a chance to redefine humanity's role in the galaxy. The flagship loomed larger as they approached, its sleek metallic form glinting in the light of distant stars. When the shuttle docked, a hatch opened, revealing a grand entranceway adorned with symbols of unity from various species. Lena took a deep breath and led her team inside, determination etched on their faces. They were met by a group of alien guards, their imposing figures radiating authority. One stepped forward, a reptilian being with bright scales and piercing eyes. Welcome, humans. The council is expecting you. His tone was firm but not unkind, a glimmer of curiosity flashing across his features. As they made their way through the corridors, Lena marveled at the alien architecture. Vast halls filled with holographic displays of galactic maps and cultural artifacts from across the coalition. It was a reminder of the diversity they were up against, but also of the possibilities that lay ahead if they could form an alliance. Upon entering the council chamber, Lena was struck by the grandeur of the space. A circular table occupied the center, surrounded by the representatives of various races, their expressions a mix of skepticism and intrigue. The president of the council sat at the head, his luminous skin reflecting the ambient light as he gestured for them to approach. "Welcome, Lena and your esteemed colleagues," he began. "You have come to present your case. We are eager to hear what humanity can offer." With a nod of encouragement from her team, Lena stepped forward. "Thank you for giving us this opportunity. We understand that fear has guided your perceptions of us, but we hope to change that narrative today." She glanced at the screen behind her, where their carefully crafted presentation awaited. As Lena initiated the showcase, the room filled with vibrant visuals. Clips of human achievements rolled across the screen, moments of triumph in science, art, and acts of kindness that transcended borders. Each segment evoked gasps and murmurs from the council members, their initial skepticism slowly giving way to fascination. "Here," Lena said, pointing to a segment that highlighted global collaboration in combating climate change. "We've come together as a species to face our greatest challenges. This is just a glimpse of our potential when we unite." As the presentation continued, Lena noticed a shift in the atmosphere. Eyes that had been narrowed in suspicion began to widen with interest. Even Krelf, who had been a vocal opponent, seemed to soften, his tentacles twitching in contemplation. Just as the final segment, a powerful montage of personal testimonials from Earth, began to play, a sudden alarm blared through the chamber. The lights flickered, and a holographic alert projected above the table. "Incoming threat detected." Panic erupted among the council members. Krelf stood up, his posture defensive. "What is happening? Are we under attack?" The president quickly raised his hand for silence, his expression grave. "We need information. Now." Lena's heart raced. This was not how she envisioned this moment unfolding. "Please, let me help," she urged. "We can work together to assess the threat. We've faced challenges on Earth before. We can do this." The president considered her words, weighing the urgency against the rising tension. "Very well, Lena. If you truly wish to prove humanity's worth, we need your expertise now." Lena felt a surge of adrenaline as the council turned to her, eyes filled with expectation. "Let's coordinate our efforts. I'll need access to your systems, and I can help analyze the incoming data." As she stepped forward, Lena realized that this was more than just a presentation. It was a moment of truth for both humanity and the coalition. In the face of danger, they had a chance to unite and prove that fear could be transformed into strength. This unexpected challenge could serve as the crucible for a new alliance, one forged in the fires of necessity. With a sense of purpose, she dove into action, knowing that their fate, and possibly the fate of the galaxy, hung in the balance. As alarms continued to blare, Lena focused on the screens lining the council chamber, trying to assess the nature of the incoming threat. The atmosphere was charged with urgency, delegates hurriedly communicating in their native languages, but Lena fought to remain calm. This was her moment to show humanity's resilience, not just in words but in action. The president of the council turned to her, a mixture of concern and determination in his eyes. "Lena, what do you need from us?" "We need access to your tactical systems and sensors," Lena replied, her mind racing. "If we can pinpoint the source of the threat, we can devise a plan to neutralize it. Humans have a knack for innovation under pressure. Let us help." Without hesitation, the president nodded, gesturing for the guards to lead her to the operations room. The atmosphere shifted as Krelf, still wary, reluctantly followed. "We can't rely solely on humans," he muttered under his breath, but the urgency of the situation made him stay close. In the operations room, Lena was greeted by a vast array of holographic displays, each showing real-time data from across the galaxy. Alien technicians worked frantically, their expressions grave. As Lena stepped up to the main console, she felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. "Let's see what we're dealing with," she said, her fingers flying over the controls. She accessed the incoming data stream, watching as the source of the alarm materialized on the screen. "It looks like a rogue faction is approaching, an unknown vessel entering our territory at high speed." Krelf leaned closer, his tentacles flexing with concern. "We've encountered that ship before. They are mercenaries, ruthless, and unpredictable. Lena's mind raced as she processed the information. If they're coming here, it's possible they want to exploit the chaos. But we can turn this around. She glanced at the gathered council members, their faces reflecting a mix of fear and intrigue. We need to formulate a plan, not just for defense, but to show them our unity. We should send a warning to the fleet, Krelth suggested, his demeanor shifting as he recognized the gravity of the situation. They'll expect us to panic. If we stand firm, we can deter them. Agreed, Lena said, nodding. But let's do more. We can use the presentation we prepared, combined with real-time data, to show our resolve. If we demonstrate that we're not afraid, it may cause them to reconsider their approach. As the team scrambled to prepare the presentation, Lena felt a renewed sense of purpose. They weren't just representing humanity, they were standing alongside the coalition, facing a common enemy. The lines between species began to blur as they worked together, strategizing and sharing ideas. Minutes later, the holographic displays were ready. Lena stepped back into the main chamber, flanked by Krelth and the president. Ladies and gentlemen, we may face a threat, but this is our opportunity to show what we can accomplish together. She activated the presentation, showcasing humanity's resilience, the creativity displayed just days earlier, and the new data illustrating their tactical readiness. The room filled with visuals, a blend of human ingenuity and alien technology. As the montage played, Lena's heart raced. We stand united, not just as humans, but as part of the Galactic Coalition. We will not let fear dictate our actions. Together, we can confront any threat. The council watched, captivated, as the imagery morphed from scenes of fear to moments of triumph. The camaraderie depicted resonated with the delegates, and for the first time, Lena saw glimmers of hope in their expressions. Krelth, once a staunch opponent, nodded slowly. You may have a point, Lena. If we can present a united front, we may have a chance to intimidate them into retreating. With renewed determination, the council members rallied behind Lena. Plans were made to position their fleets strategically, showcasing their unity in the face of adversity. The previously scattered factions began to coalesce into a cohesive force, their fear transforming into determination. As they prepared for the impending confrontation, Lena felt a surge of hope. This moment could change everything, not just for humanity, but for the entire galaxy. In the face of darkness, they have forged a bond that transcended fear, proving that together, they could rise above any challenge. It was time to face the unknown, not just as humans, but as a united coalition, ready to confront whatever lay ahead. As the alarm signals gradually subsided, the atmosphere in the Galactic Council chamber shifted from frantic urgency to focused determination. Lena stood at the forefront, flanked by the council members as they finalized their strategies for confronting the rogue faction. The collective resolve felt like a living thing, growing stronger with every passing moment. Prepare the fleet for immediate deployment, the president of the council commanded, his voice firm. We must show strength, but we must also be strategic. If they see us divided, they will strike. Lena felt a surge of adrenaline. Let's utilize the data we've collected. We can set traps and create diversions to confuse them while we figure out their intentions. Krelth nodded, his expression no longer clouded by doubt. Your people think quickly under pressure. We should leverage that creativity to outmaneuver them. As the council mobilized, Lena took a moment to survey the room, filled with diverse representatives from various species. Each being, so different yet united by a shared purpose, was a testament to what could be achieved when fear was set aside for collaboration. The council's flagship, a colossal structure adorned with symbols of unity, buzzed with activity. Delegates and crew members scrambled to prepare for the impending confrontation, and Lena found herself in a strategy room with military leaders from various races. The holographic display projected the incoming rogue vessel, its course plotted in stark red against the starfield. We estimate they will reach our borders within the hour, A sharp-eyed Zorath commander reported, his multiple eyes flickering with concern. Their ship is heavily armed, and they won't hesitate to fire if they see weakness. We must ensure that they believe we are ready for anything. Lena replied, pointing to a cluster of stars on the display. If we create a defensive perimeter here and position our ships strategically, we can catch them off guard. Let's show them that this coalition stands united. The commanders exchanged glances, nodding in agreement as Lena's plan took shape. They worked together, synthesizing strategies from both human tactics and alien technologies, forming an unexpected synergy that would define their response. As the fleet mobilized, Lena's mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. This confrontation would be a critical moment, not just for humanity but for the coalition as a whole. She felt a profound sense of responsibility weighing on her shoulders, but she also sensed an undercurrent of hope and camaraderie. "Let's do this," she said to her team, who stood beside her, their expressions determined. They all understood what was at stake. We're not just fighting for our survival, we're fighting for the chance to be part of something greater. With her heart pounding, she boarded the flagship, where the command center buzzed with activity. The view from the observation deck offered a breathtaking sight, the fleet, a constellation of ships, ready and poised for battle. "Signal the fleet," the president commanded, and the room fell silent. "Prepare to engage." As they awaited the rogue vessel's approach, tension hung thick in the air. Lena turned to Krulf, who stood beside her, his tentacles twitching nervously. "What do you think they'll do?" "They thrive on chaos," Krulf replied, his voice low. "They will test our resolve, seeking any sign of weakness." Just then, a transmission crackled through the comms. The rogue ship appeared on the main screen, its dark hull looming ominously. A voice boomed from the speakers, distorted but unmistakably brash. "This is your final warning. Stand down or face obliteration." Lena's heart raced. This was the moment they had prepared for. "We stand united," she shouted, feeling a surge of courage. "Let them see our strength." The fleet responded, ships aligning in a coordinated formation, a vivid display of unity. The council members exchanged determined glances, realizing that this confrontation was not just a battle. It was a statement to the galaxy that they would not cower in the face of adversity. "Engage," the president commanded. With a collective breath, the fleet activated their weapon systems, and Lena felt the ship shudder slightly as they prepared to face the incoming threat. They were standing on the brink of a new chapter, ready to fight not just for survival, but for a future built on trust, collaboration, and hope. As the rogue ship approached, Lena steadied herself, knowing that they would either forge an alliance through this confrontation or become an example of what happened when fear ruled the day. The time for action had arrived, and she was determined to show the galaxy that humanity was more than just a species to be feared. They were a force to be reckoned with. The tension in the command center was palpable as the rogue vessel advanced, its dark silhouette dominating the view screen. Lena's heart raced, but she stood resolute, knowing that the fate of humanity and the Galactic Coalition rested on their response. "Deploy defensive maneuvers," the president of the council ordered, his voice cutting through the air with authority. "Prepare to fire on my command." Lena watched the display as their fleet shifted into formation, each ship responding with precision. The council's diverse array of ships, gleaming and technologically advanced, stood ready to face the impending threat. It was a striking visual of unity, a testament to what they had built together in the face of fear. As the rogue ship drew nearer, a sense of anticipation filled the room. The enemy's transmission crackled again, a smug bravado emanating from the speaker. "You think your little alliance intimidates me? Stand down or face destruction." Lena stepped forward, driven by a mix of instinct and courage. "Let me respond," she urged, recognizing the need for a bold gesture. "We can show them that we're not just here to fight. We're here to stand our ground." The president hesitated but then nodded, allowing her to use the communication system. Taking a deep breath, Lena activated the comms. This is Lena from Earth, speaking on behalf of the Galactic Coalition. We are not your enemies. We seek peace, but we will defend our unity at all costs." Silence hung in the air as the rogue ship's crew processed her words. Moments felt like hours as Lena awaited their response, adrenaline coursing through her veins. "Peace," the distorted voice replied, incredulous. "You think you can scare us with your flowery speeches. You'll regret this." Lena felt a mix of fear and determination. "If it's a fight you want, we're prepared. But understand this, we will not be intimidated. Together, we are stronger than you realize." The rogue ship hesitated, and for a brief moment, it seemed that doubt flickered through their ranks. Then, without warning, the ship unleashed a barrage of fire. "Now, return fire," the president shouted, and the room erupted into chaos. Lena watched as their ships retaliated, beams of energy slicing through space. Explosions erupted in brilliant flashes, illuminating the dark void. The coalition's ships, moving in perfect sync, responded with unmatched coordination, drawing on the strategies they had developed together. As the battle unfolded, Lena found herself at the helm of a new kind of warfare, one that showcased not just technology, but the spirit of collaboration. The crew worked seamlessly, combining tactics from multiple species, creating a tapestry of defense and offense that left the rogue faction reeling. But amid the chaos, Lena's thoughts kept drifting back to the message they had sent earlier, the potential for an alliance, a different path. If only we could show them what unity means, she thought, the idea blooming in her mind. Then, an unexpected opportunity presented itself. One of the coalition's ships disabled the rogue vessel's shields, leaving it vulnerable. Lena seized the moment, recognizing that this could be their chance to end the conflict without further bloodshed. "Hold your fire," she commanded, her voice resolute. "Let's give them one more chance to surrender." The crew paused, eyes darting between Lena and the screens displaying the rogue ship's status. After a tense moment, the president nodded in agreement. Lena activated the comms again. "You're outmatched and outnumbered. Surrender now, and we can negotiate. We don't want this fight. We want to show you the strength of unity." A pause hung in the air, thick with uncertainty. Then a reply came through, shaky but clear. We don't want to die. What do you offer?" Lena's heart surged with hope. "Safety, an opportunity to join us, to be part of something greater than yourselves. Together, we can face whatever challenges lie ahead." After a brief silence, the rogue vessel responded, "We accept your terms. Stand down." Cheers erupted in the command center, but Lena felt a deep sense of relief wash over her. They had not only avoided further violence, but had opened a door to potential collaboration. As the coalition ships regrouped, Lena couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought them here, from fear and distrust to unity and strength. This confrontation had forged bonds between species, showcasing what could be achieved when they faced adversity together. In that moment, she realized that the real battle was not against a rogue faction, but against the fear that had kept them divided for so long. And now, with a new dawn breaking on the horizon, the galaxy stood on the brink of transformation. As they prepared to welcome the rogue crew, Lena smiled, knowing that they had not only defended their future, but had also paved the way for a new era of collaboration, a future where unity triumphed over fear.